What's going on, guys? Student Dr. Shak here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to talk more about the hook that's in the personal statement. The perfect hook that gets AdCom members reading your med school application or your med school personal statement to keep reading your personal statement. All right, let's get right into this. But first, if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. The hook is a series of statements that allows you to set up the inception behind why you considered it to be a serious career choice. It's probably the best place to start talking about that spark. I would recommend by starting to look into some of your hobbies, because AdComs actually like looking into that. AdComs want to know more about who you are as a person through your writing, and the best place to start is through talking about your hobbies. So for example, for me, I talked a lot about tennis in my personal statement, and I use that as part of my hook. Tennis is a sport that acts as my meditation. No matter the obstacles in life, it is a calming activity that makes me feel complete. So in this case, for my hook, the way I started it out, I wanted to be unique. I bring up tennis, which is a lifetime hobby of mine, and I talk about how it makes me feel. So in the hook, you can't really fake that emotion. You can't really fake how it makes you feel. And that's something that you have to really utilize in order to cultivate a really good response so that the AdCom members are learning the genuine side of you. I know you have hobbies, so all you gotta do is really just tap into that and tap into how you like doing that hobby or doing those hobbies outside of studying for your pre-med classes or studying for the MCAT. And notice how in this statement, I didn't just say I love tennis or like I'm really good at it or whatever it is. And I didn't really talk about how I played for an X amount of years. I genuinely conveyed that emotional side. All right, cool. So that's sort of the opening to the hook. Now it's time to channel that and to start thinking about a story that would start off your personal statement. You have to now think about a time where you realize that a career as a future physician, at the end of the day, you need to be committed to helping people. So this is where you really have to like think about that one moment in your pre-med career that made you realize this is what your calling is. Once you do that, you got to tie an emotional element that you've established with these first couple of opening statements alongside with that career defining moment. This begins a story that is your personal statement. All right, so let's go back into my personal statement. During the summers growing up, along with playing tennis, I would also visit my grandmother, Aji, in India. Aji became an influential figure because of the years of cherished memories made while picking flowers and having conversations, among many other activities. Notice here I started a story. I connected tennis to another significant loved one in my life, my grandmother. Let's keep reading. In my freshman year of college though, she was diagnosed with grade 3 brain cancer, and her death brought a void in my heart that even tennis could barely fill. Her dementia and mood changes that brought me to tears were contrasted with the fleeting sense of hope every time she called out. To ease my mind, I religiously played tennis every day in the summer following her passing. Okay, so now in this story, I've established a family tragedy, and just like any other narrative, I showed how human I am and how I reacted to this. You can start out with a hobby and then connect it properly with another key moment in your life. I was able to connect tennis to my grandmother's condition, and this started my inception. But the idea is to have the reader ask, what did I do after spending an hour on the court after hearing my grandmother's passing? If you're asking this, it's because I established some kind of hook. I've cued you in to my story. Let's see where I go with this. Then I realized that many young neighborhood children were witnessing my game, which led me to create a tennis coaching camp to bring tennis lessons and expose my local community to the joy of the sport. Teaching tennis became an activity I could share with the kids in my neighborhood looking for things to fill their summer days. Boom. This is where my story ends up. I used upsetting news and showed the readers that I impacted my local community in a more fruitful way. Instead of just saying that I love tennis and my grandma, instead of saying that my grandma's death was really upsetting, and instead of just stating that I coped with it by just playing tennis and creating a tennis coaching camp, I started with something that I found passionate. I established another aspect of my life that is extremely emotionally impacting and expressed tragedy. But then I was able to show how I could garner positive change. And this, in my opinion, is a formulaic and more replicable way of establishing your hook and segue into the introduction of your personal statement. And yep, that's it. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. It's helping my channel grow. If you like the content, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. If you have any questions about the personal statement or any other aspects of applying to med school or any pre-med advice, really, leave it in the comments below. And as always, I like keeping it real with you. Peace.